I play bass guitar. My hobbies used to be hot rods and cars, but I soon tired of that and took up the musician's life. Well, the bass is essentially a rhythm instrument and plays tightly with the drums and rhythm guitar, forming a background or bass, if you will, for the music. It's the bass guitar can and does sometimes influence the whole feel of a song, depending on how the bass player interprets the music in relation to the drums and the guitars that he's playing with. Late 20s, I guess it was. Yeah, it was under 30 because if you in those days, if you were over 30, nobody wanted anything to do with you musically. At least in the current genre at the time, in the 60s. I used to play acoustic guitar just for my own interest, and a friend of mine that I worked with, he played in a band, and their bass player quit suddenly, and they had a gig about a week away. So he borrowed a bass guitar and took it over to my house and said, "You're going to be the bass player next week." And I had a big gulp, and of course I claimed I couldn't possibly do this. And ultimately I took it on, and that's how I started playing bass. It was likely because of the fact that you get applause and the attention is focused on either you or the group you're with on stage. That's about all. I've never really thought much about it, but thinking back, I guess that's where the real reason, because when you're younger, you like to have maybe not adulation, but at least have somebody appreciative of what you're doing. Well, the only memorable one that I can recall at the moment was the very first time I had to play in front of people, and I was shaking like a leaf and knew I just couldn't possibly get through the set, but I did. And then the next set I went back for more and completely forgot about my fear and concentrated on what I was doing. Well, there's people you like to play with and people that you can get by with, depending on the situation. If you're a rehearsed band, you learn to fit in with everybody else, or else it just doesn't work. But if you're going to just jamming with other musicians, either people you know or people you don't know, it can create problems. But generally, in the jamming sense, most of the songs are stuff that most people know or are familiar with, so it makes it easier that way. As far as blues goes, Eric Clapton on lead guitar, Ginger Baker on drums, and me on bass. A bass player can never have enough bass guitars. I've got 7 at the moment. I had 9 a while back, and I got rid of 2 of them. But they're all different feels, different orientation of pickups and controls and things like that. So this bass is a Mexican-made Fender. It's one of the least expensive basses I've ever bought, and it's one of my favorites, or actually it is my favorite. I get lots of comments from other bass players, which are the best comments you can have, is wanting to be able to play it for a couple songs and things like that. So it's really done me well over the last 15 years since I bought it.